Hey, Tony Gaffney here, popping in. Just kind of want to talk, just take up some of this time on this treadmill. Hopefully, the sound not gonna be good, but hopefully you can hear me. Just try to, listen the best you can. But we're in February. It's a month of love. A lot of times we talk about love and focus on love in February, and for me, I get tired of talking about love a lot of times just because that's what I'm known for and that's what people come to me for. But it is what it is. One thing I'm noticing right now is it's been pretty interesting to see how many single women there are. I've been doing coaching sessions here recently to start off the year, and after having my coaching session closed for the last part of last year, I opened them up to kind of start off, help people set their goals and get ready this year. And one of the things I noticed is I used to have when people would hire me, it would be a good amount of women who are in a relationship or married. Now, it's like 100% are single. And as I'm talking to my clients, it's like, it's a lot of women with their head on their shoulders. They got a good head on their shoulders, they're doing the right thing, they're working on themselves. And so what it's saying to me is I must be called to help singles prepare themselves for love and prepare themselves in their single season. Even though I'm not single, I'm living the goal for a lot of people, which is to be in a marriage, happy and healthy, working on it. Nothing is perfect, always working, and every day trying to be better than the day before. And I'm guessing singles are saying, hey, what do I need to do in this season to get ready for the season that you're in? And it's kind of tough. I get it sometimes for singles to coach singles because you're in the same situation and you may be in a better situation, but nobody really knows the behind the scenes of a single coach. Like if they're in fornication, if they're depressed at night and putting on a good face for the public to look happy, to look motivated, but nobody sees the darkness. And the same thing with me being married. You don't see my behind the scenes. You're not in the home with me seeing my marriage. You don't see what struggles we have, what victories, what losses, but you just see the presentation when I'm online. And so that's understood. But what you have to be able to do is you got to be able to get the lessons for you. And the lesson for you may not be the same lessons for somebody else. And you have to understand that and do what's for you and know what's for you. So what I'll say is it's some things that you need to focus on while you're single. So where if I could be single again, if I was single and did it over before getting married, here's some things I would have done. The number one thing I would have done is I would have learned what healthy love is. I would have went to counseling or coaching. You could do either, because if it's a relationship coach, they're going to tell you the same thing a relationship counselor is going to tell you. But I would have learned what healthy love is. because I didn't, I was 21 years old, so I didn't know, but you know, because you here. So you're in a better position. And when I say learn what healthy love is, I mean get real knowledge. I got to redo the course, Real Love University, the Real Love course, because it's been glitching. And a lot of people wrote in and say it's glitching, it's not playing for them. So I'm going to refilm it and re-upload it. But I say that to say, a lot of times we learn relationships from the people we're around. So you grow up and you see toxicity, you learn that and you're like, oh, this is a relationship. Like being toxic, this is love. Getting into fights, yelling, screaming, cussing, like this comes with the territory. And that's what you tell yourself. But it's not healthy. Not healthy, it's not true. And I would have took the time to learn that. If I could be single, if I had to be single again, I would also not sleep with somebody inside of 6 months. Because when you're out there dating and you living life, and I know some of you that's virgins and some of you waiting until marriage, but such a small minority, you already taken care of. I got to speak to the majority, and the majority of people is going to get in that bed. And you grown, so it do me no good to beat you across the head with the Bible, because you're going to do what you want to do regardless. Yes, you should wait until marriage. We all know that, but I didn't do it. And most people don't do it, which is a shame. And I'm not condoning sex before marriage. But if you feel like you don't believe in waiting until marriage and you have to do it, don't do it inside of 6 months. I used to say 3 months, and then it became very popular, the 90-day rule. I had already wrote the rule 2 years before it came out in that book, but it got real popular, and our world became very overly sexualized. We freak nasty. We is freak nasty now. So now it's changed to 6 months. You need 6 months, because if you can't wait till marriage, you at least need to be able to wait 6 months. If you can't wait 6 months, you need to be in therapy every week, because that means you're too loose. You don't value your body enough. You don't value your body. You take too many risks. You're willing to catch HIV and other STDs before you even know a person. It's like, at least if you're gonna get pregnant by somebody or get a woman pregnant, or you're gonna take the risk of contracting an STD, at least know the person. At least have spent time with the person every day, on the phone or in person, getting to know the person. Have sexual chemistry, like sexual energy, without jumping in the bed. Being able to make love to the mind and get to know the person for who they are. Because one thing about marriage is, in marriage, especially when you have kids, anybody and every married couple will tell you, the sex routine, it changes. So it's very common to go a week or 2 weeks without having sex in marriage. A lot of times people, they think about that, but you got to realize, sex ain't all of that. Like, it's a release, but it's other things in life that feel better. Being with your kids, looking at your kids smile, and seeing them happy, that feel better than sex. Sex is it's fleeting. It's just a feeling. it's really to serve a purpose. It's really to reproduce. And yes, it can be pleasurable for men. It also could be painful for women. And a lot of times, you could rush it, you could force it. It could just be wrong place, wrong time. And when life really get busy, a lot of days you living beneath the line. You behind the 8 ball. You feel fatigue, you got a headache, you just got a stomach ache, it's going crazy, and you don't feel like having sex because you're just tired. But when you don't have it, when you don't have access to something that's healthy, legal, in right standing with God, which is sex inside of marriage, when you don't have access to something every day, then you want it more and you crave it more. It's like when you get a bank account full of money, like let's say you get you a nice check, you necessarily don't want anything because you could get what you want. And then it makes you think about it differently. But when you broke, you want everything because you don't have the money to get it. And that's how it is with sex. It's like when you can't get it, your mind fantasizes about it when you're single. And it trumps it up, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's really something that you realize it's a plus, but not a priority. And it's better to, when you're in marriage, to let that chemistry build up, let that energy build up. And it's better to me sometimes to go a week or 2 weeks, almost like you fasting from the physical and you developing the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and then you come together and you able to ravish in the love. But humans who treat sex the same way rabbits do don't understand the beauty and the power of it. It ain't meant to be treated like that. And so that's what got to be understood. And so I would take that time. I would take that off the table. Because even as a man, when I was out there dating around, even then I really ain't want it like that. Even then it really wasn't a lot of feeling in it. It just was like, it's something to do, it's what you're supposed to do. But it wasn't a lot of feeling in it. So I would change that. And that's why I tell y'all people. And then too, abstain. Abstain. If you can abstain till marriage, then do it. Don't just sleep with somebody just because culture says that's what you're supposed to do. No, don't do that. Like, do what you know in your heart you want to do or what you're supposed to do. And let the chips fall where they may. Person want to leave, they want to leave. Okay, good riddance. Go on about your business. Because one thing I want to tell women is that as men, we won't die if we don't have sex. We won't die. We honestly, as men, will get stronger. We get stronger. We get more focused. We get more channeled. We get better. That's why I fast from it sometimes, because I get more focused and channeled. When you have that release, it drains you. It drains you. It takes everything out you. It changes your chemistry. Because what the brain just dumped into your bloodstream, that oxytocin, that dopamine, it changed your chemistry. But when you can fast from it, it does something different for you. And a lot of people don't understand that. So really understand that right there. And take your time. Another thing that I would do if I was single is I would take enough time. Third thing is I would spend enough time to see a person in every scenario, so that then I can learn or create or learn an approach of how I would handle that situation going forward. See, a lot of times our dating experience is so streamlined to where you really don't see a person in enough settings. So you need to date long enough to where you see this person when they go through something tough. They lose a job. They lose a family member. They lose a deal. They get in a car wreck. Some adversity. To see what type of state they go into. If they go into a deep depression that makes them unbearable. Or if they able to manage it. Also, you want to see different environments. You want to have this person around their family and see how they treat you in front of their family. What they telling their family about you and how their family treats you. The family will treat you based on what they say about you to the family. You also want to have this person around your family. And then the same around their friends, around your friends. And you want to see how they move, see how they act, see what that's like. Then you want to have different experiences, like going to a sporting event, going to a theater event, like, ballet or stage play, going to a wedding, going to a funeral. Like, you just want to have this person that you're dating in different, it don't have to be every single one, but you have to think about the different things that happen in life that can throw us off. So when you think about it, you think, okay, in life, death in the family could send me here. All right. Termination could send me here. Promotion, increase could send me here. Being around different groups of people can send me here. So you got to think personally, what changes your energy, your mentality. And when you do that, now you're able to say, okay, so let me see this person I'm dating in those type of scenarios. So what that means is dating now should be about 2 years. Not dating, but you should be in a relationship at least 2 years before marriage. At least 2 years. It's never smart to get married in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And today, because of the access on social media, you really would not be wrong to stretch the dating phase to the relationship phase to 3 years. You wouldn't be wrong, because people change over time. Who you have there'll be versions of themselves, but people change. So whatever you see in a person, you have to multiply it by 3. Because the more someone gets comfortable with you, the more that behavior will be magnified. The good and the bad. So if the person you dating, they like to do you like that, just playing with you, 5 years in, this right here it'll be that. Because they're more comfortable with you. So now they playing with you on a whole nother level. If they get mad and they storm off, 5 years later, storming off will be slamming the door, throwing a rock at the window, and cussing at you on their way off. Whatever behavior, good, bad, and ugly, you got to multiply it by 3. And then you got to ask yourself, can I envision that? And will I be able to handle that? Will I be okay with that? And it's not an exact science, but for the most part it is. Based on my decade and a half studied other people's relationships and also being married for more than a decade and a half. And so understand that right there. And here's the thing. A fourth thing that I wish somebody would have told me is that just because you don't get along all the time, and just because you don't like, you're gonna love, but just because you don't like each other all the time, it doesn't mean that you're in a bad relationship. See, we are sold this dream that love and relationship is supposed to be laughs and smiles all the time. That you're supposed to be at your highest with this person all the time. And whoever told you that has never been in a relationship and had to overcome things and work through things. Because there's going to be times in a relationship that you almost think you hate each other because of what you're going through or what you're dealing with. And it could be in any area of life. It could be just family tension. It could be work tension. It could be interpersonal. It could be infidelity. It could be whatever it may be. It's going to be times where you almost feel like you hate each other. But then it's love. And the key is that you both are working toward being better. And you both pulling each other forward and holding each other accountable. So when you're doing right and you're growing and your partner starts to slip into the past and slip into negativity, you got to be able to say, hey, we moving forward. We're not on that. We're moving forward. And now if they won't move forward with you, that's when you have a problem. That's when Houston, we have a problem, comes into play. But if you chose right and you took the time and you did your due diligence, then your person is going to respect you on a level that he or she can see that you're growing, see that you want better, see that you want peace, love, and happiness, and they're going to grow with you. And so what you have to understand is the tough times should be seasonal. Y'all got to forgive me, stretching these legs out a little bit. The tough times should be seasonal. It shouldn't be a lifetime. It should be external factors that you can tell that this is the stimuli to this tough time. This is the reason for this tough time. You could pinpoint it. So understand that. And so what, that's 4 tips. Another thing I would do is to make sure your foundation is the same. Now, I did a lot of this. I'm just throwing out some stuff as if I was, single, hypothetical, because this stuff that I see that people miss. But making sure your foundations are the same. And when I say foundation, it's like I build my life on my faith. So you want to make sure if you build on your faith, you want to make sure your partner builds on their faith. You want to make sure that if you're serious about your relationship with God, that your partner is serious about your relationship with God. And you want to make sure that you can kind of come together and fit like a puzzle piece. You don't want to stack right on top of each other and be the same to where you just butting heads. You want to fit around each other. And it doesn't have to be a perfect fit. Nothing's going to be perfect. That's because love is flexible. Love is malleable. So it's never going to be a perfect fit. A part of love is seeing someone for who they are, where they are, and loving them there. Love isn't about forcing someone to change who they are. And it's really about just understanding. So here's the thing. Let me give you an example from my own marriage. I'm an entrepreneur and I do business. I don't like reading books, but I will listen to an audio book, but I don't really like listening to a lot of books because it takes a lot of time. And right now I'm probably listening to one a week. It takes a lot of time, it costs a lot of money, but then too, it'll have me going all over the place. But my wife, she read 390 books in 1 year. In the month of January, she read 50 books in the month of January. But she only reads fiction books. So it's kind of like her entertainment to kind of help her get through the monotony of mom life. You know, you cooking, you cleaning, doing laundry around the clock. We going through 12 outfits a day. An outfit has several pieces, 2 socks, shorts, underwear, shirt. We're going through 12 a day as a family. No. Yeah, 3 outfits a piece. So this is my second outfit today. When I get off of here and shower, I got to put on another outfit. So I'm gonna be in my 3rd outfit of the day because I had something to do this morning, something to do right now, and I got something to do after this. That's a lot of laundry. And so my wife, she'll listen to them books. So selfishly, I'm kind of like, hey, babe, you know, I wish you'll read a business book. But that's going to be painstaking. That's going to be boring because her life is not in that space. So I could say, hey, because you don't like reading business books and I'm doing business, we're not a good fit. But instead, I say, I had to learn and say, you know what? That's her thing. If I want a business, I can't take her hobby, her pleasure, and dictate that and tell her what she needs to be doing with her free time or her hobby, because I wouldn't want her to do that to me. So this is the stuff in relationships that we have to learn that oftentimes we don't. We don't take the time to get this here type of knowledge. And it's failing. Relationships fail because everybody wanted to be perfect. Everybody wanted to be just peaches and cream. Everybody want to dream. But what you got to realize is that it's not a nightmare just because it's not your fantasy. So nothing is going to be fantastical. It's going to be reality. And you got to understand that. And I think a lot of times that's one thing that we don't do. I'm a little cool down. We don't understand that the reality of life, nothing is wrong with it. As long as it's healthy, it don't have to be ideally perfect, what you would say. So perfect could be my wife saying, oh, my husband is just this super, like outgoing person, bubbly, and just super whatever. But me, I'm more reserved, I'm more controlling, I'm more watching my surroundings, I'm more serious. So she had to learn that about me. And then at the same time, I have to learn when I'm going overboard and be able to change that, turn that around. And so that's what you have to realize. And that's what I mean by when you're in a relationship and you're getting ready to know that as long as it's not painful in the sense of you being abused, you being trapped, you being controlled, you being dogged out, just for no good reason. Like it ain't even about somebody acting out of stress or pain. It's just for no good reason. That's when you got to really address that situation. But when you look and you see, okay, this isn't malicious. It's a season. We're going through, we're struggling. It's a season. Let's pray through it. Let's learn from it. And let's get through it. And let's get better. And let's do what we need to do to get better. And let's not wait on anybody to get better. Let's do what we need to do and grow. Point blank period. And I think sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes we just don't get to that place and really go to understanding like, okay, this is what needs to be done. And I need to grow here. I need to change here. So keep getting the knowledge. I got a lot of videos for y'all singles. And I got the marriage series now too. Uploaded some videos to that if you married. Or even if you're single and you want to see about marriage and stuff you're going to have to deal with. My book, Make It Work, will really bless you. If you're trying to make a relationship work or you want to see what it takes. And then my book, A Woman's Influence, for the women, that's going to change your whole life. Because I'm giving you the insight from a male perspective of just how much power you have. So every single woman watching this video, you're doing yourself an injustice if you don't read or listen to my book titled A Woman's Influence that I wrote with my wife. And it's the real deal. Giving away the whole game. So hey, it's Tony Gassman. God bless you. I'm feeling tired today. I'm tired. I gotta run I'm running a 5K this Saturday, just to push myself. But I'm sore. I'm sore. I'm running yesterday, running the day before, then today doing the little walk. My IT band acting up. And I just got stretched for 25 minutes at the place, stretch zone or whatever it's called. And I'm about to get in this here sauna, get my old shower in, go get my haircut. Then coach my client, got to coach my client actually before my haircut. So hey, I sent out on the Blessed Tribe, I posted a link yesterday as the last day that you can sign up. I'm gonna have to delete the link soon, but if you beat me to it, I posted the discounted sessions. It's on the Blessed Tribe community page, and it's on the Patreon. And then I think I emailed it too to the students of Tony Gass's Academy for the discounted one-on-one sessions. But hey, God bless you, and we'll talk soon.